name is Michael Ruggiero, and I am the man in the Club of the Man 1993, and you can't teach that. Bob Boom, realest man in the room, how you doing? Hey, doing all? Didn't get to, check the live chat yet, so hopefully you're all coming on in. Had a pretty good Tuesday during the day, Tuesday night. You know what's up? How you doing? So tonight was SmackDown Live, the July 24th, 2018 SmackDown Live. How I forget that day because it's my best friend's birthday. How you doing? So tonight I had the night to myself. So I, grabbed a gift card from one of my favorite restaurants, Buffalo Wild Wings. How you doing? Jumped in the car, took my Jets 20 minutes out to the town center to get my dinner. Hey, doing? So with that, I stopped by, and of course I walked in. Man, just saw my Chris Jericho "You Just Made the List" T-shirt, and said, "What's up, Chris Jericho?" And I said, "Hey, doing?" So I stood there and waited for them to give me my order. I received my order. Now I didn't have my girl Georgia with me. Of course, last woman I had went running off with my future brother-in-law pretty much, but we're not going to go there. That's a little too personal. But anyway, so getting right back on track here. I received a nice, delicious dinner tonight because it was buy one, get one boneless. So I got double time, some crispy, tangy, honey, barbecue, and palm garlic flavor. And a side of salty French fries. Hey, don't. So, as you can tell, had a pretty good day today. Hey, don't. So I decided to do this review of SmackDown Live. Hey, don't. But I started a little late because I got sidetracked talking to my mama. Hey, don't. So let's, just sit down and enjoy this review. But of course, I must mention also, any hecklers in the live chat all. If you want to, just be negative and just, be a stupid idiot like, our homie Chris Jericho, hey, doing, read a T-shirt, you will make the list. What's going to happen? I'm going to block your ass, and you are not going to be seen in my live chat any longer. And after that, I'll be sending you a copy of a shirt that says Casshole on it. Guys, what is going on? Yes, this is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my live review of SmackDown Live from the July 24th. And yes, it is true. It is my best friend's birthday. So happy birthday, homie. Yes, it is the July 24th, 2018 edition of SmackDown Live that took place in Evansville, Indiana. And man, as I expected, I was not afraid to get my hopes up to believe that this show would be just a nice refresher compared to last night's dumpster fire of Monday Night Raw. Where, in case you guys didn't hear yet, we're having an all-women's pay-per-view called Evolution come October 28th. I'm sure you've heard that how many times. And I was even being a troll on Twitter tonight and tweeting every time the pay-per-view is mentioned. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was 12 times. Other than that, though, one or two little things I was kind of like, meh about. This show actually was still a really good show. Not quite as good as last week's, but it was still a pretty good show. Another solid effort by the Blue brand. This is a brand that is getting me excited for SummerSlam. Raw? No way, Jose. Not happening at all whatsoever. But with that, though, let's get started checking out that live chat. I know I've kept you guys waiting so long. And, of course, my Enzo Amore entrance, me raving about my crispy, tangy, honey, barbecue, and palm garlic flavor. Again, it was buy one, get one night, so I had to take advantage of it. So I have leftovers for lunch tomorrow. Anyways, let's check out this live chat and see who we've got here in this live chat. We've got Dakota, the phenomenal Virus, saying he gave the show a really high B+, like an 89%. That's pretty much how I feel about the show also. He thought the best match was the New Day versus Sandy. The only bad match was Asuka and Billie Kay. He loved the Bayley match. Carmella actually had a good freaking match. Yes, it was not too bad at all. What do you think about the rumor I heard of Rock going one-on-one with Elias? Which I would like to see that, especially, Even if it's a match, probably wouldn't be too much of a match, but it would be like, a promo. I can go on one-on-one on the microphone, definitely. Will be a great tag team. Aiden English and Elias. Maybe. And reliable sources, it will in fact be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam. I think Joe and Styles will close the show, though. I like to believe it will be Joe and Styles. Unfortunately, though, they're probably going to go with Brock because he's facing Roman Reigns, my golden boy. And yeah, the disclaimer, because she's in the live chat again. For those of you joining me on a live review last night, I really did not have bronchitis. I was just making a joke because I was coughing because my throat was getting straight from doing that Vince impression. And I wanted to cover the excuse of why I was coughing. So that's why I said, but I do not have bronchitis. Anyways, but yeah, we have the awesome Lauren Hutton also in the live chat saying hey, and SmackDown she thought was an A. The code gave it a B+ because the Oscar match was not very good. Asking who the Oscar face, yes, Billy Kay. Orton's promo was legit badass. True heel right there. Oh yes, one of the best promos we have seen from Randy Orton in God knows how long. I think we finally had the 2009 Orton back, baby. No, I'm sorry, 2009 Orton back, baby. Yep, I think we do too. And Becky won, thank goodness. The code thinks he will lose to Jeff. And how old is Orton? I think he's 38 now, I think. And yes, we had the return of Maurice. I love that cheap pin by Mella. That was pretty cool. And it did not and it did not work though, but it was definitely a slick move. And she says, happy birthday to my amigo. Thank you. Orton is 38. He's not old. Hashtag Raw is dumpster fire. I told you AJ would face Joe, which I am happy. And again, happy birthday to my buddy. Hashtag Raw is garbage. Hashtag SmackDown Live is the place to be. Yes, it definitely is. I wish we were getting SmackDown sometime soon, but nope. The next event going to be here live in Pittsburgh is the Saturday of that Christmas holiday tour. I have better things to do during the holiday than go to just a random live event, especially the last live. The last time I went to like a non-televised WWE live event, I had a stupid idiot sit next to me who kept bothering me, kept smacking me, and he spit on me also. If I would have had the list back then, he would have definitely made the list for sure. Kept raving about how he wanted to see Paige's bosom. Speaking of which, Paige was straight savage tonight. Oh, we'll talk about that segment because I got some words again for my good old rival, I should say, James Ellsworth. He's 2 or 3 years younger than Jeff. I guess Road Dogg is not the writer for SmackDown Live anymore. I know even Dakota saw it, still says it somewhere online that he still is. There's no way Road Dogg is writing these shows. No way. No freaking way. Nah. Hey, goodbye, Dakota's implying. Nakamura was in a Nakamura was in a backstage handicap promo. Yeah, I've seen a Rusev Day breakup also. And yes, I enjoyed the Lana and Zelina beatdown. She thinks Mella is better without Ellsworth, and he hopes Jeff will get back to the main event. I hope so too. Raw needs Robbie. Yes, Jeff will be back. Joe Styles will have the match of the year. Bold prediction. I would love to see that. Santa got run over by Del Rio. Don't remind me. That was my first ever live event I ever attended. Ever. Welcome to WWE, Mike. That's literally what I got introduced to that night. What about Orton saying Jeff will be retired? We will definitely talk about that when we get to the promo. I wish we could see Orton versus Nakamura first, then Jeff versus Orton, then Joe versus Cena, Joe versus Orton, Nakamura versus Cena, then Becky versus Charlotte, then Orton versus AJ. That'd be a good amount of matches that I like to see. If The Rock competes on Raw, what does that say about Brock? Exactly. And Great Khali is a giant freaking elf. Again, I thought I was the world's tallest Christmas elf when I played Hermie in my school's Christmas play senior year, but then I saw the Great Khali, and I'm like, never mind. But yeah, let's get started with this live review. We got Robbie, we got Dakota, we got Lauren in the live chat, so we're going to be rocking and rolling. So let's talk about this episode of SmackDown Live. So we kick things off seeing a limo pulling up to the arena, and out comes The Miz, and then he helps Maurice get out. This is the first time we've seen Maurice on live TV since Raw 25 when she appeared, just for all the women to come out to stay on the ramp and say hi, as everybody pretty much did on that crappy anniversary show. I think before that,
probably I'd say sometime like September or October. It was the last time we had really seen Maurice live on TV. But she came out. She kisses Miz and gets back into the car, and she pulls out a Monroe Sky. They make their way into the arena, and out in the arena, Randy Orton made his entrance. So we seem to be getting a recap of what happened last week when Orton did that vicious assault on Jeff Hardy, including I still don't even know, cringe, even though again it in a good way. It was great, but just like that moment where Orton was pulling at the ear gauge on Jeff Hardy. I'm like, oh gosh, that was painful. So we got that. So then Orton gets on the microphone and he says, wait 1 second, let me see here. Let me see, where was I going to cut off here? Okay, so he gets on the microphone, and I'm going to split this up into two parts because I will, mention, how I felt about this promo. This was a really good promo. I was leaning a little bit towards one way at first, but it's something in this promo just really grabbed my attention big time. So anyways, so Orton says he's heard all the theories as to why he did what he did. It wasn't unfinished business from a decade ago, or he wasn't upset about the top 10 list. If you want to know why he did what he did, you just have to look in the mirror. He did it because of us. He busted his ass for 16 years for us, and who's even around now that was around when he got started? He says he's the one constant in the WWE, and every superstar that comes down the aisle eats at the table he sets for them, and yet he gets no respect. Why is that? Is it because he doesn't paint his face and flail his arms like some kind of idiot, which he's referring to Jeff Hardy there, or because he doesn't change his merch every month, which he's probably referring to John Cena, or because he competes? Is it because he competes year-round? And he also mentioned something about, showing up in the spring for WrestleMania, which probably referring to Undertaker or Brock Lesnar, or maybe because he doesn't dive off of cages, ladders, and turnbuckles. That could be Jeff Hardy or Shane McMahon. He's not some indie darling that competed in the rundown bingo halls, and he didn't steal some sweet hand gesture either. Is that why? Referring to Finn Balor there, the smiling idiot who now has Finn's Funhouse. He didn't pay his dues in front of hundreds of people. He learned from the best in the business and paid his dues in front of millions and accomplished everything there is to do in the WWE. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Now, at first, when this started happening, I think at first, again, before everybody says anything, I get this was a great promo by Orton, but that first part there, at first I'm thinking, it's just like it's something you feel you hear every time someone turns heel. I bust my rear end, and I get no respect. I'm like, okay, we've heard that how many times from the same people, who turn heel. Yes, we get it. That happens all the time. But then this was a part I felt that really got me hooked. Like, okay, this was actually something that really, I'm like, whoa, yes, like this is what really like maybe like remember this promo. I love about it. The fact that he mentioned that he started as the Legend Killer, now he knows the true Legend Killer is each and every one of us. So he's going to tear everyone else down, starting with Jeff Hardy, who won't ever be coming back when he's done. The only part of the story he cares about is the part he gets to write, the final chapter. You can call him all you want, the Apex Predator, the Viper, even Legend Killer, but you only need to refer to him as the three most devastating, destructible letters in sports entertainment. And of course, the crowd he says R-K. He's about to say O, but the crowd said O, and Orton didn't say O. Probably because placing his displeasure towards the crowd, who claims he does not respect him. But the thing, again, I said before, at first, that first small portion of it, I'm thinking, this is a typical, heel promo that we seem to always get, like every time someone first turns heel. It's nothing really that new to me. But then when that part that really, interested me was that thing of him pretty much saying that, I viewed myself once as the Legend Killer. Now he pretty much saying that he views all of us as Legend Killers because they don't know how to respect a legend in him. So I'm like, okay, yeah, this is definitely fresh. It's like, because again, you think about, Randy Orton's turned heel how many times throughout his career? Like, why would this be any different if it's just him saying he doesn't have respect, but he feels he needs respect because he is a legend, and he doesn't feel as a legend, he gets that respect. So he's called all of us the true legend killers. And as we've said in the live chat, it definitely was probably one of the best promos that Orton has cut in a long time, getting back up to that level he was in 2009. So obviously Jeff Hardy was not there tonight, but I definitely look forward to seeing what goes on down the line and see who else Orton targets along the way. I mean, even when Orton said he was going to end Jeff Hardy's career, like that could be believable, honestly, because again, I love Jeff Hardy, but I am definitely starting to worry with the nagging injuries he's had. Like, what if he really is thinking about stepping away because of his injuries? I mean, I would not hope that for Hardy, but it does have that doubt in my mind a little bit. This is something to really watch. Could Orton be trying to write Jeff Hardy away? We'll have to wait and see who else he targets next to for people that feel he gets more respect than him. But despite the fact he feels a legend, he deserves that respect. So a great opening promo by Mr. Randall Keith Orton. And of course, we also had the first time, I believe, first or second time. Again, I counted 12 times. And the first time they hyped up Evolution, the all women's pay-per-view, pretty much. So let's check the live chat. Live chat. Let's see where we are. Because Mike, do you think Joe will make Styles pass out, or do you think Styles will win with the phenomenal forearm? I'm not sure. I really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if Joe does win, it will be by getting Styles to pass out. I know we heard rumors that they're going to be facing off again at Hell in a Cell. So I'm not sure. I don't know who to pick. Yeah, I still got to think about it. But yeah, it's tough. Lauren thinks Styles will retain. She agrees that this was one of Randy's best promos. I don't care what anyone says. I love Miz and Maurice. Oh, gotta love them definitely. They're heels, but they're awesome. Shinsuke's promo was kind of a tweener promo, more of a tweener promo than a heel promo. It was, and Miz was actually good. That's good to hear. I may check it out. You know what happens when your husband is a stupid idiot? Chris Jericho when Maurice made the list. Yes. Are you still saying, Dakota, that Shinsuke will turn face? She doesn't think he will. I don't know. I still feel it would be too early to turn Shinsuke back being a face. If he feuds with Orton, he will possibly. Gotta be honest here. Even though I love Orton as a baby face and heel, he cuts better promos and matches as a heel. That's where he shines most definitely. Yes, he definitely shines better as a heel, I feel. That Rusev versus Almas match was good. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. I hope he won't retire as a heel though. They're saying Orton will turn face again by the end of 2019. Maybe. I mean, again, it'll probably, like how it was in 2009, have he's going to have this really great heel character, but it's going to be something that the crowd's going to be invested into, and they're going to actually want to cheer for him. So that'll probably, resort more to a hero and whatnot. So they could. He could do what Edge did, retire as champion, then vacate the belt, maybe. Talking about Orton, I loved how Orton took shots at Cena, Lesnar, Jeff Taker, and the Bullet Club. That was savage. Yes, it definitely was. Where did Finn Balor and Balor Club become Pee Wee's Playhouse? Yeah, you got that right, Robbie. Now, you see I don't know if anybody follows Finn Balor on Instagram, but he posted some goofy photo and smiling outside of that Playhouse. So I'm just like, top 10 definitely for one of the worst segments of the year, for sure. He was talking about Jeff with changing his colors because his armbands and clothing. Orton was talking about Jeff in the whole promo because of Jeff's hand gesture before the Swanton Bomb during his entrance. So, Cody, you think Orton will retire as a heel? I don't. I think he'll retire as a face. No Mandy and Sonya tonight. Yeah, I know. No Mandy. Yeah, I didn't see them tonight. The code says that he thinks Orton will turn face. So I think he will retire as a champion, possibly. Fans wanted this heel Orton now they're booing him. I mean, yeah, I know they're booing, but I mean, I feel like that they're. I mean, yes, they cheer him in camp, but they're booing him. I feel because of just he's just getting the proper heel. He's doing the job of making himself getting him booed pretty much. But did you notice outside WWE heels are really cool and nice, and faces seem the opposite most of the time? That is true. Yeah, I definitely do agree. That's because he is meant to be booed. Okay, sorry, misunderstood. Jeff needs to hang up his boots. I don't want him to, but I'm definitely starting to worry that he might have to with all his injuries. Like I said before, Mike, how nice would it be to see Andrade, Cien Almas / Zelina Vega versus Rusev and Lana mixed tag match at SummerSlam? I'd be for that. Because Jeff is fine, he'll be all right. Just needs to change his style. Possibly. Do you think people will blame Orton WWE in real life if Jeff leaves? I don't think. I mean, again, if they, I don't think they'll blame Orton because I don't think. I mean, it'd be stupid to blame Orton because Jeff's injuries aren't because of Orton. But if something happens that it will be a storyline where Orton does write Jeff off of TV, I feel like it would make sense like right now with what's going on. But I don't want that to happen. I think Jeff needs a character change like Brother Nero. We could see Brother Nero. Speaking of Joe, what happened to the Muscle Buster? He hasn't used it at all since coming to the main roster. I guess they took it away because of what happened with Tyson Kidd, but he still uses it in NXT. Great match card for SummerSlam so far. On the Raw side, definitely. By the way, Mikey, call me Mikey. Great SummerSlam prediction card. Thank you. When is Jericho returning? I'd say either. I don't know, but I'm going to predict either by the end of the year or Royal Rumble. WWE would ruin Almas. Yeah, I was afraid at first too. I mean, he was just probably off of the Sin Cara stuff, but yeah, I'm definitely really liking what they're doing with Almas on SmackDown right now. Why can't we get this Orton 2 years ago versus Lesnar? Exactly, but nope. Are you doing a special stream this Thursday? I plan on it, but it might have to wait till like 9 o'clock because I do have a phone meeting with a client at 8 o'clock, so I'll probably do it then. The Iconic, is there better? I'll talk about that. Except for Brock versus Roman 4. Yeah, exactly. That's the one match I'm looking forward to SummerSlam. And the face paint was Jeff, and the Daredevil and jumping was also Jeff. Yes. It seems more fun to play a heel than a face. Well, because WWE actually knows how to write the heels, and I think the heels are the ones bringing in all the money and whatnot. Jeff and Matt may leave WWE because of how bad their pushes have been. Oh, geez. Robbie, we don't need Brock and Roman again. No, we do not. Yeah, I've heard that rumor also. Robbie said he'd like to see Velveteen Dream battle Chris Jericho at TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Yeah, could either be him and Jericho, could be him and I would see him and Cena, but I think it looks like to me they're going to be going with EC3 and Velveteen Dream for TakeOver Brooklyn 4. But that would be awesome also. No. Again, Velveteen Dream and Cena, Velveteen Dream and Jericho would be awesome in an NXT pay-per-view. On a main roster pay-per-view, I'm sure they would probably ruin it somehow. But yes. Brock and Bobby. Yes, I wish we were getting that. I have to go see you Thursday. Go see what Thursday? Mania 35 predictions. Still got to think about those, but we could definitely talk about those. Oh, Dakota has to go. I'm sorry. See you later, Dakota. This is strange. He's usually on late, but it's all right, Dakota. See you later. But I'll continue on with the live stream. We still have got Lauren and Robbie in the live chat. Anyway, so we had the match though. Rusev versus Andrade Cien Almas. They had a little segment backstage with Lana, Rusev, Zelina Vega, and Almas clashing backstage and get into a little bit of an argument. Pretty much how they both want to be talked about in the title picture, since there's going to be an announcement reveals tonight of who will be the next challenger for the WWE Championship for SummerSlam, and they both want to make their cases. Rusev had a great effort at Extreme Rules. Like him and Styles put on a really good match. Again, I always asking for from that match is I knew Rusev probably was not going to win, but don't make him look like an idiot. And that they succeeded, made Rusev look like he could have won that match. Andrade Almas last week, again, despite the fact that I wasn't a fan of having him just tap out so easily, like they did, I still thought he put on a great match with Styles. And Rusev and Almas again, I thought went out, which I'm hoping this means Rusev is finally a babyface. Please let this be saying Rusev is finally a babyface. Who knows? He'll probably be a heel next week. But Rusev and Almas again put on a pretty good match, and again it's just showing again whoever's writing for them now, it's showing that they're actually taking Rusev seriously. And again, Almas again, I keep saying that Almas is definitely not one of my favorites, but he's definitely one of those performers that I definitely really do respect. That he does entertain me and he does make me feel intrigued to what he's doing, because he even I was actually interested in seeing the matches between him and Sin Cara. They weren't too bad. Sin Cara, despite being someone who no one really cares about, I thought him and Almas put on great matches. And then of course again NXT, yes, he was kind of flat, but him and Zelina Vega have been a great pairing together. And then of course the moment in the match also I enjoyed where we had Zelina and Lana get into a brawl outside the ring. Aiden English came out to separate, continuing the storyline of how Aiden English costed Rusev his match at Extreme Rules and whatnot. So it's showing the cracks between those two. And because of that distraction, Almas turned around Rusev for the Hammerlock DDT to pick up the victory. And afterwards, we see backstage. First, we see R-Truth talking to Ty Dillinger about he's about to have his first match since WrestleMania. I guess he was in the Andre the Giant Royal Battle Royal, probably the first match on like Raw or SmackDown, and God knows how long, probably since the feud with him and Goldust last summer. Which again, I was digging the promos, but everything, the matches weren't that great. Anyway, so he's talking about he has a match with Samoa Joe, and then Ty psychs him up, telling him he's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And then Truth pledges to show Joe what's up as we go to break. But then we have Aiden English and Lana bickering backstage. And Aiden complains about Rusev without returning his calls. Lana says he doesn't want to talk to him. And Rusev said he has had enough, shouting and saying that maybe I thought first it was going to be him just confronting Aiden English because of their thing. But then he says maybe neither of you are good for Rusev Day and walks out. So I'm like, whoa. So not only is your tag team partner Aiden English not good enough, you're saying your wife isn't also. Dang. We really got to see what happens there in the coming weeks. We had R-Truth and Samoa Joe. Just quick squash match. R-Truth did have some aggressive looking offense coming out though on Joe, but it was probably again just Truth, bringing out his best just for Joe to get the upper hand and eventually get him to tap out to the Coquina Clutch for the win. We have an Asuka interview backstage. Mentioning how she's excited for Evolution, but tonight Billie Kay is not ready for hers. We're getting ready to have a match with Asuka and Billie Kay. Also, we had the Iconics doing a handicap promo, talking about how excited they are to make Evolution iconic and how not iconic Asuka is, and how they're both better than she is. We'll talk about that in a second, how that is completely false, no offense. But let's see here. Do you see Rusev leaving Lana, then Lana teaming with Aiden? It would be interesting, but yeah, I just that caught me off guard. I didn't think Rusev would leave. Would be mad at Lana also. But it would be interesting if that happened. What happened if Joe wins a title? Who do you think he will face? Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who would he face? Really? Him and Cena could have a match for the title. I think Joe and Bryan could have a match for the title. Joe and Rusev, they had that match a couple weeks ago on SmackDown. That was kind of mad, but maybe they can put on something better at a pay-per-view. Trying to think who else on SmackDown could face Joe. Not sure, but there's a few possibilities. She thinks Rusev is a tweener. Seems like it. Yeah, no Nikki Cross tonight. I was surprised. They should just make Zelina and again almost a couple. Maybe. Watch them make Aiden English and Lana a couple. Oh boy, poor Rusev. He'll lose out to Lana twice. Robbie thought Andrade beat AJ. No, he didn't. Andrade tapped out to AJ. That was the case. Yeah, AJ beat Andrade last week, by submission. Our Truth and Ty are irrelevant now. Exactly. Evolution is a mystery. We've heard it how many times. I don't like how Asuka has been booked on SmackDown since switching brands. SummerSlam should have been her chance to dethrone Carmella from the women's title. Definitely agree. Now look where she is. She looks stupid now. Asuka was way better on Raw. They should have kept Mickey on SmackDown and left Asuka on Raw. They could have done that. Joe versus Orton. Joe versus Hardy. Oh yeah, Joe and Hardy for the championship wouldn't be a bad idea. Joe versus Miz and Joe versus Cena. Joe versus Bryan. Those are all good ideas. Lauren, you're a freaking genius. Those are good options. But I'll keep going with the review here. But yeah, we had Asuka versus Billie Kay. Not really much of a match at all. Asuka beats her with a roundhouse kick to the head. I mean, yeah, Asuka won again, but she looked like an idiot interfered with Carmella. And the Iconics lose yet again. Hasn't been a good run so far. I mean, the beatdown they had in the night they debuted on SmackDown was good. Other than that, not really a big fan of what they've done with the Iconics so far. To me, they're just losers. We get this handy cam promo from Nakamura telling Jeff Hardy was so close last week, but he's still champion. Of course, said something like, I couldn't tell if he says, "Can you hear me?" or said, "Can you hear me?" or whatnot whatsoever. But, it was a good promo by Nakamura. We have we see a backstage segment with Miz and Maurice making a media appearance. And then we have in the arena, we got Paige, who I will talk about something about Paige shortly because I got a little bone to pick again with Mr. James Ellsworth. Paige is in the ring with a table and a contract to sign. She says being GM has been so much fun. She's very excited to see her gals of SmackDown steal the show at Evolution in October. There we go again. Put over how we're going to see Trish and Lita there. Over 50 women are going to be on the show, but we're riding into the biggest show of the summer, and it's about time she announces the challenger for the most important WWE Championship. She introduces AJ Styles, makes an entrance, and soaks in the chants in the crowd. And he says, for those of you who don't know, he's a husband and a father. And when Stephanie announced Evolution, the first person he thought of was his daughter. He feels like he can look into her beautiful brown eyes and tell her if she wants it bad enough, she can go get it. And there's nothing she can't accomplish. Which, okay, cool. But again, how many times do we have to hear about this Evolution promo? Again, again, I'm giving it a chance, but they're just going nuts over how many times. I'm sure Vince is excited to see all of his dream bed partners. Sorry, that's a little too much. But anyways, and another reason for him to be proud of this company he works for, he's also proud to defend the most prestigious prize in the world at SummerSlam, where 2 years ago, him and John Cena tore the house down, which they literally did. Last year, him and Kevin Owens ended their rivalry, which could have been better, but wasn't too bad. And as far as he's concerned, it's just as important as WrestleMania. He signs a contract and asks for his opponent. So Paige asks for a drum roll. Now, here's the thing. We all know it ended up being Joe. We were also expecting it to be Samoa Joe. But I was starting to wonder, since Joe participated in a random squash match earlier on, I thought first this could have been, a surprise return of Rey Mysterio maybe, which, again, I was all for Styles and Joe. But since they had, Joe wrestle a match earlier, I thought maybe it may not be Joe. I thought, what if, they have, Rey Mysterio return? Or what if it was Styles and The Undertaker? It was a match we were supposed to get at Royal Rumble 2017, but because the WrestleMania plans got changed, so many other things got changed around also. Well, because of the whole thing with the engagement of John Cena and Nikki Bella, but most of the stuff worked out well in the end anyways. But the opponents were revealed, and out came James Ellsworth. Paige waves him off. Ellsworth is saying he is exquisite, and he's out here to tell us the real reason he came back to WWE is for the championship. After all, who's more worthy than him? He beat Styles 3 times, and as they say, the 4 times the charm. AJ points out that's not the saying, but Ellsworth brushes it off and says they will after he wins. He sees the look in AJ's face. He knows he's scared, but he'll make it quick. Wham, bam, Ellsworth, new champ. Hot damn, as he says. There's a wink. His little. Paige goes down and tells Ellsworth to just stop and calls him a joke. And I'm thinking, ouch. So Ellsworth was hitting on Paige for how many weeks, and now she calls him a joke. Ouch. Ellsworth disagrees and calls Paige a joke, saying we can't understand what she says half the time, and he mocks her appearance, telling her how pale she is. Listen, Ellsworth. Listen to me right now. That's my woman right there. You just insulted right there. As a former coworker once told me, Mike, don't ever let anybody mess with you. If anybody ever tries to mess with you, just get in their faces and go, don't let me put them paws on you. So James Ellsworth, you call Paige pale again. And don't let me put them paws on you, James. I had to make the joke. But again, so Paige gets in his face and once again strokes Ellsworth's arm. I'm like, damn. And she says she's had enough of him, and she's got 2 words for him. And for the first time as a general manager, Paige does her first firing. She fires Ellsworth, and she has security drag him away. Then Paige says, "I'll be right back," and she follows him backstage. Ellsworth is kicking and screaming, and then Paige tells him to set him down right in front of the door, and she pretty much just kicks him right out. So I'm guessing it's Ellsworth being written off TV. It didn't seem like him returning was going to last that long, but it was probably just to bring it back for a reason for Carmella to not lose to lose to Asuka, and without Asuka, well, they tried to not make Asuka look too weak, but they did. And they made her look like a stupid idiot. So sorry, the run with Ellsworth did not work out too well. But then back in the ring, though, we see Samoa Joe come from behind and attack Styles, putting the coquina clutch, getting him to pass out. He gives up, signs a contract, and he just throws the table into Styles. And then backstage, we see Paige roll up to Joe and gets on him for jumping on AJ. But Joe's defends it, saying what she had planned was pedestrian, but what he did was phenomenal. Because as you know, Paige also mentioned the reason why she picked him because he's unpredictable, and Joe mentioned that was unpredictable as well. I like how you mocked Styles, this whole thing, the arm's going phenomenal and whatnot. So, yep, we're getting the match at SummerSlam, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. And then after he walks away, Carmella rolls up complaining about Paige firing Ellsworth, which Paige tells her to go buy a new boyfriend. Ouch. Because both her boyfriends have recently been fired. Well, her real life recent boyfriend, Big Cass, is fired. And then, well, now, they never were dating. Carmella was just some Ellsworth's friend that was a girl, even though she planted a big kiss in him last year. Anyways, though, Carmella says she's champ and plans on staying that way until, once again, you didn't hear yet, we're doing a pay-per-view called Evolution, an all-women's pay-per-view on October 28th. And she's going to beat Becky Lynch. That was her plan. We have Becky Lynch versus Carmella. Again, as Dakota said earlier, it was a pretty good match I thought Becky and Carmella had for the most part. Well, again, it was Carmella, trying to, pull off, her heel tactic ways of winning. Yes, again, I know her offense could be a little bit better, but I do like how, Carmella tried to, sneak away several times to gain a victory through, cheap tactics. But unfortunately, it didn't work out as Becky got her in with this disarmer. And finally, Becky Lynch is getting an opportunity at a women's championship at SummerSlam this time, and it will be against Carmella, which, again, makes sense because of the history they had with each other. I mean, it's like Ellsworth's going to be around, which, I guess it's okay. I mean, they tried the Ellsworth thing with Asuka. Did not really work out. So yeah, Becky is now the #1 contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship for SummerSlam. Let's see here. Let me see here. Saying I'm the genius. Nah, I'm not a genius, Lauren. No one is ready for Asuka. Well, Charlotte was. Somewhat Carmella. Iconics are not losers, jobbers is the word. Yeah, that's what they're being treated like, but they're a lot better than that. Nakamura is a funny heel. Yes, he is. Again, as I said before, Nakamura as a face in NXT was funny. On the main roster, I thought they made a mockery out of him being funny as a face, but as a heel, he definitely is entertaining. So Shinsuke squashed Jeff Hardy at Extreme Rules. Yeah. Do you see Paige turning heel as a SmackDown Live GM anytime soon? Well, at first when she became GM, I thought when they brought over Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, I thought maybe she still will be a heel and favorite them, but that was not the case. So I say maybe down the line, but probably not anytime soon. I feel, in my opinion. Do you see Styles staying a face the rest of his career? Not sure, maybe. Do you know why I don't understand now? WWE mentions wives, husbands, and children now. They never used to. Why all of a sudden do they now? That's why we can't get good couple storylines. Yeah, that is true. There probably is a case with that. Watch Ellsworth interfere in the title match or Carmella's match at SummerSlam. Wouldn't surprise me. She loves Paige, but she does get lip fill. But did she get lip filters, or was it the way her lipstick is applied? Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that one promo, that one commercial she had while advertising her movie costume, where she's like, Paige here, whatever heck it is. No offense. I mean, as Lauren even just said, also she is beautiful. Paige is gorgeous. I definitely agree. But yeah, I do agree. Sometimes she wear a little too much makeup. Mike versus Ellsworth. Yes, book it. You're looking at. Let me see here. Let me double check here. How big is Ellsworth? Ellsworth, I know he's like 5'9", 5'10". He works on the indies. Doesn't think he's anything too spectacular in the ring, of course. Which I'll explain my background in a second here. So let's see here. Let's go to James Ellsworth's profile. James Ellsworth is, come on here. It says his height, 5'9". I don't know. What do you say? 170. Me, I'm 6'1", 185. 10 years in the martial arts. Keep in mind, well, I haven't been in the martial arts since 2012, but 10 years experience, I can take it. We can do that. At SummerSlam. And what was the point of bringing Ellsworth back? I mean, again, I did like Ellsworth's first run with the WWE. I definitely did enjoy it. But I do agree. I feel like they just brought him back just to make Asuka look stupid. When I said evolution is a mystery, I was referring to the stable. Okay, I see what you mean. The audience isn't exciting anymore. It's like they don't give a shit. Exactly. I mean, we have some good crowds, but then we get mad crowds, especially Pittsburgh crowds. Joe versus Orton versus Miz. Who's the best heel on SmackDown Live? Well, Joe, is great, but I feel like, he's still needs to heat back up again after his loss to Roman. Orton's getting started, so I still got to give it to the Miz right now, but definitely Joe and Orton don't have potential to be the best one. Cass and Carmella have been split up a year now. Geez, I ran out of it yesterday. Hey, Mike, Ellsworth is actually booked to wrestle Joey Ryan next month's APW show. In somewhere nearby him, he's going to go meet him because Ellsworth is money. Duh. Yeah, I mean, I could have seen Ellsworth if I was able to go to the IWC event he was at back in March on St. Patrick's Day, but I had to work that day, so I couldn't go. I could have seen him then, him in his intergender title. Did you believe the rumors back a few weeks ago that Mella and Cena were a couple? Yeah, I was definitely surprised by that, but I don't think it's true at all. I mean, I'm not sure again what's going on with Cena and Nikki. I mean, I'm keeping hearing rumors that they split up because of Total Bellas and whatnot. Not sure that's true, but I don't think Cena and Carmella are together. Becky better win a title. I love to see Charlotte or Asuka feud with her. Definitely, yes. I definitely agree. Someone pitched an idea on Twitter to have a match between Becky and Charlotte at Evolution for the SmackDown Women's title, which I think should be the case for the pay-per-view. Did Sandy defeat the New Day? No, they did not actually. We'll talk about that in a second, actually. First, for that, we had because we had commentary hyping up, we're going to get in a match this week and next week. They're calling it a little tournament, but not really much of a tournament. This week we had the New Day versus Sanity. And then next we're going to have the Bar and the Usos, which the Bar have returned after being gone for God knows how long. Thank goodness they're back. And the winners of each matches face Sharon next week, and the winners of them face the Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown Live tag titles at at SummerSlam. So we had New Day taking on Sanity in the number one contenders first round. Usos were on commentary. Pretty entertaining, I thought, on commentary. Match was not too bad between New Day and Sanity, but again, I mean, I didn't expect I did not expect Sanity to become number one contenders, but I was hoping they would at least get past this first round. And they lost again. They've lost 3 times now on SmackDown Live in the first month or two they've been here. Like, why? I mean, I don't think they look completely weak, but they've been doing a lot of losing lately, I feel. I mean, yes, they won. Well, Eric Young won the singles match last week, but don't think I wanted to see Sanity lose that many times yet. But so, of course, afterwards, we had the Usos getting up and staring down the New Day, and then out came the Bar. And they asked if we all missed them, but they didn't miss any of us. But they do miss being tag team champions. That's why they're going to beat the Usos next week and then beat the Bludgeon Brothers for a tag title at SummerSlam, because everybody knows they don't just set the bar, they are the bar, which I'm kind of hoping it's the bar. We've already seen Bludgeon Brothers and the Usos, which, again, Harper and Rowan against the Usos, again, back in 2014, in great matches. Again, the Bludgeon Brothers, I'm fine with as tag team champions, but I still feel like we're just getting this the same thing with them all the time. Just short, quick squash matches where I know that these guys can do so much more than just that. So I would rather see something fresh. So I'm hoping to see Bludgeon Brothers and the Bar. I mean, I originally, in my card predictions, predicted Bludgeon Brothers and Rusev Day because of what's going on with, Aiden English and Rusev, but doesn't look like we're going that direction now. So I'm hoping for it to be the Bar. Let me just talk about this final segment before I go back to the live chat. We have Miz and Maurice backstage meeting with Paige, who's arranged for Sin Cara to babysit Monroe Sky. But then he decides he'd rather not have a babysitter who wears a mask, and they take the kid to ringside with them. Sin Cara says he tried, and Paige agrees they both had a rough day. And then we see Miz, Maurice, and what we thought was Monroe making their entrance together. Miz is on the microphone. This is the Miz and Mrs. Premiere Party. He does a modified version of his Miz TV introduction special and introduces this as the premiere party for Miz and Mrs., which took place right after SmackDown Live tonight. Last week, they mourned the end of Team Hell No, but then they're going to celebrate the future by the way of Miz and Mrs. He's been lucky to share the spotlight with the most radiant woman in the world, his beautiful, gorgeous, sexy wife, Maurice, which, again, Miz, how did you do that? She thanks him and talks up evolution, saying the women's evolution started with her, and her evolution keeps going after SmackDown on Miz and Mrs. tonight. Miz talks about the concept of the premiere party and presents the presence of his baby, saying in her short life she's accomplished more than Daniel Bryan has in his return to WWE. And Miz says the mere mention of Bryan has put her to sleep. And he says, let's toss over to see a preview of Miz and Mrs. But unfortunately, it was not a preview of Miz and Mrs. It was a highlight reel of some of Miz and Maurice's embarrassing moments in the WWE. And they are livid. Then they show Daniel Bryan backstage smiling and says that, it looks like Miz and Mrs. is gonna be a great reality show. I didn't think I wasn't expecting to see footage like that though, but he doesn't know what happened in the truck, so he apologizes. But he stops himself and realizes that, I don't should be apologizing back here. I'm gonna go out and apologize to you in the ring. So he makes his entrance, but of course Miz hires security guards to block him. At first, Bryan thought he was going to leave, but then he takes them both out, and he gets past the barricade. He goes through the ropes and gets to the ring, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, how is Daniel Bryan really going to attack the Miz while he has a baby in his hand? Like, I'm like, are we going to do this thing where it's like, Miz, Maurice, and Monroe, and then we have Daniel Bryan, Brie Bella, and Birdie. I'm thinking are we going to go with that route so far or something? But I thought that's a little too far out the box. Well, then it ends up Miz tricked us. He tosses the baby over to Daniel Bryan. I'm thinking he didn't just throw his own child, but nope. It was a baby doll, making Miz look like a genius, outsmarting Bryan once again. And then he distracts Bryan and kicks him, and then he hits a skull-crushing finale on him. And then Miz gets on the microphone again and yells at Bryan for trying to steal a spotlight and says he knew his ego couldn't handle him having a party in the main event. But everybody sees now that it was a ruse and the baby backstage was an actor. He wouldn't bring his precious angel to a city like this. He tells us if we want to see his daughter, we can tune into Ms. and Mrs., and he guarantees that it will be awesome. And then they leave and start jawing at Bryan, who's recovering in the ring, and that's how we went off the air. So a good way to end this episode of SmackDown Live. Before I go back to the live chat, I'll give my grades and thoughts really quick. Again, good episode. The Asuka and Billie Kay match was meh, and I was kind of a little. I mean, the match with New Day and Sanity was good, but I wasn't a fan of having Sanity lose again. So it just missed getting an A- grade from me. So I'll give this episode of SmackDown Live, like Dakota said, like an 89%, a B+. Really strong episode of SmackDown Live once again. And on the Twitter polls here, we have 3 votes for what grade. 2 people said A, 1 person said B. Nobody else said anything lower than that. And then 8 votes for what show did you enjoy more this week, Raw or SmackDown Live? Everybody said SmackDown Live, which that is a guarantee, definitely. So let's go. Let's see here. New Day get way too much opportunities. Kind of seems like it, yeah. And the Bar should have won a tournament. Can't believe Miz and Maurice fooled Bryan with fake Monroe. I couldn't believe that either. Like when he really tossed that baby, I'm like, you didn't really just throw your daughter, did you? And I saw it was a baby doll. I'm like, oh my goodness, Miz, you're a genius. What's up, Hassan? Watch the Barbie face. Wouldn't mind seeing it. New Day will split and either Big E or Woods would turn heel. That could happen. Modern day Mela Raja. That's what he calls Carmella. Sweet dreams. See you Thursday. I'll see you then, Lauren. Lauren's graham cracker ice cream. Don't leave. Take some ice cream. SmackDown will be in his hometown next week, and he'll be live. Awesome song. Hope you have a great time. Also, what did Orton do? He cut a pretty good promo explaining his actions last week. Recently with what he was doing to Jeff Hardy. Definitely recommend checking out. It was a really good promo. Pretty much saying how, he demands more respect for being a legend and calling us all the legend killers. We have Robbie saying, hey, Mike, if Lana ends up beating my girl Zelina Vega, I might have to say, where are my Lana Day ice cream bars? Ooh, yummy. It's ice cream day. Nikki's ass is hotter than Alexa's. He still quits WWE. Jay Lethal's ROH champion again. Nice. I referring to Nikki Bella's being hotter than Alexa's. I'm sorry again. No offense. No one. I even though Paige is my favorite, no one's hotter than Nikki Bella right now. I gotta say my honest opinion. But and as always, we'll get the plug out there for Robbie really quick because I retweeted the idea. And once again, I'll mention it again. So Robbie, first let me get a shout out to Robbie again. Robbie, again, is my good friend here on YouTube, Robbie One Kenobi. He makes a lot of fantasy prediction videos, which I do recommend Robbie trying to do more again anytime soon. And also, he should make a video on his idea. He mentioned last night on Twitter the idea that the stipulation for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar Part 4 is if Roman does not win the match, he does not get another world title shot for a whole year, which I think would be an interesting stipulation, definitely to put on to the match, make it mean something a little bit more, whatnot. We're tired of seeing Roman get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and none of the opportunities make sense at all whatsoever. So I would recommend Robbie trying to, make a video to pitch the idea there. Also, when you have the time, of course, at any Air Fantasy videos, but if you check out Robbie's channel, like we see, please get the hashtag, please sign Robbie trending. Also, the recent one, hashtag Raw needs Robbie trending as well. So get the plugs out there for Robbie One Kenobi as well. It's ice cream day. We got to do something to celebrate. Of course, what should we do? Beat up John Cena. Yes, we should beat up John Cena. but yes, guys, I think that's going to do it for this live review. Thank you to Dakota, Robbie, Lauren, and Hassan also for joining me live. Hope you have fun next week when you attend SmackDown. Live in attendance. Hassan, also, I look forward to hear how you enjoy it. Again, SmackDown's been on a roll. Raw's been garbage, but SmackDown's been so much more worth checking out lately. So, yeah. So, again, B+ for tonight's episode of SmackDown Live. I'll be live tomorrow night, or sometime tomorrow for 205 Live, and tomorrow night for NXT. And then I will do my special live stream Thursday. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. August special streams will definitely have stuff to do with SummerSlam, though. So, yeah, guys, what are your thoughts on SmackDown Live? What are your thoughts down in the comment section below? And as always, be sure to click by like and subscribe more content on my channel, and follow me as well on Twitter at Demand Airborne. Anything before I sign off, I must also mention, if you guys have not heard yet, we're going to be doing a pay-per-view on October 28th called Evolution. It's going to be an all-women's pay-per-view. In case you didn't hear that, it's going to be great. It's going to be so great. It's going to be the greatest thing that all the women are going to be there. It's going to be absolutely sexy. Had to get that out there. All right, guys, but I'm checking out, guys. I will see you all later. Until then, guys, since I started off going this way, until then, guys, how you doing? Peace out, everybody.